Hello there and welcome to another podcast of Suffolk Business Podcast. We are with Ben Coomber today, who is founder of Awesome Sups and BTN Academy. Hello, Ben.
Hello. What is happening?
That was a very strong hello.
Well, you've got to enter the world in a strong way.
Well, there we go. We're going to start this podcast with anything. It's Ben's hello. I felt that.
I did. I mean, thanks so much for joining us, mate. We obviously started speaking to you a few months ago and we've done bits and bobs. Yeah. And it's finally great to get you on.
I've never got that saying.
Bits and bobs.
Bits and bobs.
That's very
Where did
English.
That come from?
It's very English, mate.
We've done bits and bobs.
It's very polite.
Yeah,
it
is.
English, yeah.
That's Jack. That's Jack personified. He is a polite fella.
Thank you, mate. Cheers. Let's jump in. Ben, talk to us a little about your business journey, about building your personal brand. Just a quick, short and sharp. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, don't do short and sharp because we have got like a long time to do this. So it might make things a bit awkward if you did literally just say. Yeah,
you should probably say short and sharp because a lot of people could probably waffle about all the different details and all the different journeys. So from the age of like 19, 20, I've been self-employed, never really liked taking orders from anyone else, always wanted to pave my own way. So I became a personal trainer at the age of 20. Did that for 9 months. Not going to say I didn't enjoy it, but I felt there was more. Like it just wasn't really scratching an itch. So I lived in Suffolk, felt it had a bit of a small town mentality at the time in 2006. So I was like, right, I want to go to a big city, I want to experience things, I want to go to uni. So literally rang around the unis, got a place, and within two weeks I was at uni studying sports performance and coaching. And then in my second year, they sent an email round for an enterprise centre. And my mum had always said I'd had a bit of an entrepreneurial mind. So I thought, I'm going to go and explore this idea because I was still working as a personal trainer, but it still wasn't scratching this itch. I was loving teaching about nutrition and performance, but just doing it one-to-one wasn't for me. So I went and had a look round and this guy was like, well, lots of businesses are thinking about going online now and all that kind of stuff. So I thought about doing nutrition coaching online. So cut a long story short, 2008, I started my first online business. It was just a nutrition consultancy. My mindset was, why just coach nutrition here? Why not do it to the whole world? So built a website and I made every mistake under the sun. I didn't really define who I wanted to coach. I just kind of my service is for everyone and these are my products, and I had too many products and it was just too confusing. Didn't nail down my avatar. All the colouring was off. The website looked quite budget even though I'd spent a lot on it. And then it wasn't going well, and all the clients I was coaching, I'll be honest, I just hated working with them. I built a business that I ended up hating.
There's one of your,
I think a lot of PTs would definitely resonate with that as well.
Yeah. And I just sort of sat down and had an inflection point, and luckily I was in an environment where there was other startups, and I was like, guys, can you help me? And I got 4 of them around a table, and they just talked me through the process of right, who's your avatar, what's your perfect product, all that kind of stuff. So we ended up rebuilding the business. It became a lot more kind of male performance, and I wanted to ultimately coach people like me that had a similar mindset, and I think that probably resonates with a lot of people. You want to work with similar kind of characters. So that was in 2009, built that up to have 12 different coaches online. We then said, right, we want to have more of an impact. So we went into nutrition education. So since 2013, we've been a nutrition educator. Since this year, we're one of the only level 4 training providers in the UK for nutrition coaching. Wow. So we're now an official qualification. And then along that journey, I kind of just saw the value of personal brand, read a lot of books by Daniel Priestley, Seth Godin, people like that. And they were personal brand will always stay true. Whatever business you run or decide, personal brand will always be there. So I just always built both business and brand. And I'm really glad that I did. In 2012, by that point, I was writing for every major fitness magazine, had the UK's #1 health and fitness podcast. I spoke at major UK events. I was doing really well. But it's because I invested 3 years in getting there and really going through the personal brand thing. And then 2016, I just, again, had another inflection point where I was really pissed off with the supplement industry, all the dishonesty. No products really tasted that great when they said that they did. And in my naivety, I was like, how hard can it be to start a supplement company? So started a supplement company.
It's like your very own Tim Ferriss.
It turns out it's quite hard. Turns out lots of stuff can go wrong.
Yeah, it's very regulated industry as well. I get.
No,
is it not? No, there we go.
It's not.
So we're just having any pills, any supplements.
It's not as regulated as you might think.
Really?
I can go to a manufacturer, say I want a whey protein, stick a label on it, and unless you say call me out on my advertising or the label, no one's there label checking or quality checking. It's all that side of it's completely unregulated.
That's mad.
That's scary.
So you need to look for companies that regulate themselves. So we worked with the Advertising Standards Agency before we launched our brand and said, is our labelling correct? If you look at our labels, they're really unclaimy. There's nothing bold about it. Whereas a lot of companies are kind of the opposite. And you'll hear stories all the time of companies getting called out by the ASA and stuff like that. But anyway.
There's enough of them on Instagram getting shout outs from Geordie Shore.
There is,
isn't there? I think at the moment,
deep trouble.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the personal brand stuff more because me and Jake absolutely love that. First of all, what's your favourite Daniel Priestley book?
KPI.
Yeah,
it's good. It's
Key
my favourite book.
Influence.
Yeah.
It's hard because oversubscribed is proper good as well.
24 Assets is brilliant.
We just run it.
Daniel, you've done a great job.
Yeah, he has. He's a great business person to follow, but it's kind of the journey, isn't it? He has 4 books that go in sequence.
Yeah.
For me, it was Key Person of Influence that made me think about what I want to achieve as a business person, and then the other stuff kind of came along with it. Yeah.
Wow. Talk about what you kind of did to build your personal brand. Did you, because everyone just thinks you put a couple of pictures online, a couple of videos, you'll slowly start to build your following, but actually you still got to provide value for people. So talk us about the early days, especially how you built the nutrition staff to slowly then build into awesome stuff, and then your personal brand kind of went with it, I suppose.
Yeah, so I did all of that, but just for a long time and was really consistent. Patience, building any business is tough work. Don't get me wrong, there's an inflection point that usually you should be getting to the 3-4 year mark and things are pretty good. You're pretty comfortable at that point. You're usually pulling your hair out because you've got a bit too much work to do and you're struggling how to be efficient and you're thinking about hiring. I provided a lot of value to the world. I definitely made sure I understood my customer and what people were talking about. So I was always in touch with the media. So if something came out on the keto diet or whatever, I'd post about it, I'd comment on it because that's what people are thinking about. Yeah. So I do think as a business you have to be in alignment with the trends to a degree, and you still want to be commenting and giving your opinion, because ultimately if I want to position myself as a nutrition thought leader, then I need to share thought on what is being talked about in the world of nutrition and fitness and stuff. The power of other people. I built a podcast, which meant I could connect with other people in America, Australia. So there's then partnerships. So then you're getting exposed to other people's audience. Like if I post about this show on my social media, you guys get, and this is just how it works. So aligning yourselves with other like-minded people is really important. And I think this is where there's real value in business autobiographies, to learn how patient you have to be. Because it's very easy to focus on what everyone else is doing and the perceived success. But I read a lot of autobiographies and, they consistently said, it took me 5 years to get to this, it took me 10 years to do this.
Yeah.
And it just makes you think, I've only been blogging 3 months. That's why I'm not a blogger yet and everyone's reading my blogs. If I do it for 3 years, I'll probably then be a blogger.
I often think that because I try and mix up my reading a bit, so I will read the really practical books like KPI and all those ones from Seth Godin and everything, but I will also do that. I'll read autobiographies because I want context. I want to see actually, like you say, how long it takes for these people to actually, and what challenges they've overcome as well. I've just read Phil Knight's Shoe Dog.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's the best book I've ever read.
And right up until the end, there were, probably they did continue, I imagine, afterwards, but there are so many challenges that he had to overcome, and there's so many things that we think, this is the worst thing that could have ever happened to our business, when actually it was times a million for him because of all the stakes that were, at risk. So I think that's a really, really cool thing to kind of lean on, is the fact that actually there is context that you don't see. When you pop on Instagram and everything like that, there's so much going on behind a person's curtains that you have no idea about. No, chat, don't laugh.
Okay, mate.
Something.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think that's really important. And actually by being real and being yourself and putting your message out there without any worry of what could happen as a result. I think what I always say is those that are willing to not change their identity, but break out from what they think everybody perceives them as, and actually be honest and be authentic.
People love authenticity.
It's important to know your problem's small in the grand scheme of things as well. Like you read a book like Phil Knight's and you're like, oh my God, he had to conquer that.
Yeah.
Where you're just trying to work out something really simple, but you feel like you're getting kicked in the privates repeatedly with the problem. So it gives you context to say, hang on, I can handle this, because if Phil solved that problem, I can solve this little problem.
Exactly.
And that's sometimes business. It's like, how many times can you feel like you're going to get kicked in the face every day
it's
and keep
perception
getting up?
of a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I always think like, obviously Gary Vee talks about putting out fires all the time and how he's always just problem solving. And that is what owning a business is. And the quicker that business owners get to grips with they're going to deal with more problems than good things each day, then the easier it becomes, in my opinion.
But that's like when it, like, coming back to why people resonate with you, is because if you are honest and you do share that message, and you are honest that there actually are challenges with running a business, then that's probably why you resonated with Gary, and that's why we're all drawn to these people who are honest.
So this is where I really value health and nutrition in business, because problems are always greater if your biology is not in a good place. So if I'm underslept, underfueled, just not in a good place, then as soon as that problem hits me, I'm like, I'm just not ready for it. I just don't have the capacity for it. But if I'm looking after myself, getting to bed on time, eating well, that problem comes at me, I'm like, yeah, bring it on. I've got the mental energy for it. I've got the physical energy for it. I'm taking time for myself, so it feels like I've got that work-life balance. And the amount of business owners I speak to that, they're always running around, everything's stressful. And I'm like, why do you feel like that?
Yeah.
You're not in a good place physically. You're not sleeping. You're over caffeinated. So that the health piece in business is massive.
Well, I think it was a trend for a long, long time, wasn't it? Of like, if you look at somebody, a business owner, and they look busy, then it means it's successful, doesn't it? Whereas now I feel like we're starting to actually have a bit more of a discussion about mental health and business and everything like that. So on that note, is there anything that you do in your routine that kind of helps calm you down, gives you perspective, gives you clarity?
More than anything, I just protect my own time. So usually half of my work day is not subject to any external influence. So I don't have any email, any social media. I have my phone on airplane mode. Wow. So I usually get up in the morning, let's say 6 a.m. and I worked from 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. this morning for a 3-hour work block, and I wasn't contactable to the world, not even to my wife, not even to anyone. Whereas later on that day, I would have gone for a dog walk, had my breakfast, 10:30 in the morning, I'll turn my phone on, turn Slack on, talk to my team, all the rest of it. And then I'm ready for the problems. I've already worked on a big project, I've moved the business forward, I've been strategic, I've been creative, and now it's like doing. And my job in my business is part strategic and creativity and part doing. My business isn't that big that I'm not the guy not doing stuff. I'm still doing stuff. So I think it's about protecting your time. I'll always make time for fitness. I'll always make time for food. I've got non-negotiable sleep rules. So once I get into bed at like 9:30, my phone's off, I'm chatting to my wife, I'm relaxing. So it's just about having those rules that allows your brain. It's about
being disciplined as well with it. I mean, we spoke to Scott Russell, and he was saying his way of dealing with it is he has 5 tasks throughout one day, and he will do them 5 tasks, and no matter what time he finishes those 5 tasks, he's done. So if he finishes at 1 p.m, he's done for the rest of the day. If he finishes at 8, he's going to carry on till 8. I think that's really interesting to see how successful people deal with their day.
As humans as well, I think we're so used to being relied upon from other people. And also we're so scared that if we turn our phone off for like an afternoon, that so much is going to happen that you're going to miss. But then I think what starts to naturally happen is people get used to how you operate.
100%.
So these people that would normally phone you in the afternoon would look at their phone, see Ben and think, actually, I'm not going to phone him now because he'll have his phone off. And then everybody starts pandering to you as opposed to you pandering to them.
I think as a business person, I'm guilty of that as well. Like, because you own a business, you think you have to be contactable 24/7, whereas it's not at all. It's not the case.
It's like old school. It's like someone wasn't in, you'd ring back later or you leave a voicemail. Whereas these days, everyone expects you to be available. It's just not the reality. But like you say, you've got to define that. Like, if they're your rules, they're your rules. And I know people that you send an email to and you'll get an autoresponder saying, I only check my emails Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and I do this because it works for me, it's efficient, I'm in clinics on a Tuesday or whatever. And then it's like, okay, cool. I'll just speak to them on Tuesday. So
it's
I
simple,
think
isn't it, really? It's like when you set those rules in for yourself and you stick to them, and you might piss off a few people at the beginning, but like they will start to understand that there's a few people in my life that I know that I will try, that I'll think, actually, I need to get in touch with them, but I won't do it today because I know they won't get back in touch until next week.
And it's what people come to expect.
Don't keep up.
Don't raise the bar too high too early.
Yeah.
With everything in life.
Yeah, no, 100%.
With that little rule from Scott Russell, I like that because he also protects his capacity as well. So some days it will naturally be like, oh, I've worked 6 hours today, cool. Then other days, like maybe shit hits the fan and it's like, right, I've got the capacity because I didn't work too much yesterday. Whereas I often found as a business owner, I'd make my to-do list like proper capacity, like, right, I'm going to work 10 hours today and here's all the stuff I'm going to achieve. And then it got to like Wednesday and I was like getting a bit burnt out because I'd overpacked the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
And I'm so much more conservative now so that I can work consistently throughout the week. And I like that because I get pleasure from achievement, as most of us do.
Wins.
Yeah, so I'm not getting to Friday being like today's a waste, haven't got the energy for it, I'm tired. Like,
it's true, yeah.
And then you feel like you failed even though you've absolutely done loads. You've already smashed your week.
Yeah.
So now I kind of almost like take the 30 hours that I used to do Monday to Wednesday and just drop it throughout the week.
Yeah.
And it feels more pleasurable. It just takes discipline to try it because it feels like you're not going to do as much.
But then it also feels really good when you finish for the day as well, doesn't it? And you're like, okay, I don't need to do anything now. I've done what I needed to do. Tomorrow's the day where I kickstart again. Definitely, 100%.
But it's all down to discipline. Like, because...
why are we working?
Yeah.
We work to live a good life. I don't work to work. I work because I enjoy it and I enjoy writing and media and all the rest of it. But I don't actually want to be doing it 12 hours a day.
No.
I really want to do it 6, 7, 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
So what is your, like, on that note, what is the, like, can you, I'm going to get really deep now. Can you dig deep? Yeah, that's the thing.
Good man.
Can you dig deep and actually tell us, why you've done all of this? Why did you set up a business? Is there something overriding in your mind that you're like, yes, I want to get to this point one day, whether that be financially, happiness, anything like that, fulfillment? Is there anything that you were doing all of this for?
So the initial starting point was me being obese and losing all the weight, and it was quite a roadblocked journey. And then I kind of released this big roadblock, lost 5.5 stone in 6 months, and I was like, that's incredible. I don't know anyone that's lost weight that quickly. I feel great. I feel productive. Like, it just changed my life. And I thought, I can't not share this information. It was just overwhelming. And we all know loads of people like this, that maybe they've used a particular product and they thought it changed their life and they end up becoming a seller of that product because it was that meaningful to them. So I kind of naturally went towards fitness because I was not enjoying my current career. So from the age of 8, I'd been an actor.
Really?
And always had the vision of like I'd be on the stage, dancing, singing, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Peter Pan, Regent Theatre.
Mate.
I was Lost Boy. Yeah. and
you look like one.
And fairly obese as well as that goes. So.
Still got the tights?
Only on Sundays.
And I kind of wanted to then say, right, I want to promote this message, and then. Because I wasn't enjoying the personal training, that then forced me to say, well, I've got this great message, how can I deliver it to more people? And that's what forced me to kind of go online. Financially, I always just wanted a really good life for myself. I didn't want a life of limit, as I call it. So I wanted to be able to go into a shoe shop and be like, oh, those shoes are £90. I'm going to buy the shoes.
Yeah.
Lizzie, do you want to go on holiday this year? Yeah, where do you want to go? Oh, we want to go to like Costa Rica. How much is it going to cost? Cost $3,000. Okay, cool. Let's go to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to live a good life with no limits. Like, I'm not sitting here going, oh, shall I get a helicopter tomorrow? Yeah, let's get a car. It's like, it's not extreme stuff because really that stuff doesn't bring you ultimate pleasure long term. No. But what does bring you pleasure is going out and having adventures, providing good food on the table, being able to buy all your friends and family nice Christmas present, all that kind of stuff, like small stuff.
Yeah.
So the reality was I needed to earn like 40, 50 grand a year to kind of facilitate that lifestyle. So I'd say that's probably held me back from how big my business could be, because I think if you're really financially driven, that does force you to push your business a bit more. So I've always been mission led. I've always been kind of message led, but I do want a comfortable life, and I don't work hard to not have some fruits of my labour. So yeah, that's probably some of my motivations.
Yeah,
you're a happy guy though.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's like there are people make the mistake of like aspiring to be a billionaire and being like, right, I'm going to make all the money in the world. I'm going to have offices and things all over the world.
Tokyo.
Yeah,
everywhere.
but actually have a mission, like you said. Have like an idea where you want to be. Visualize it. Think, and then reverse engineer it and think, actually, yeah, that's going to cost us this much. I'm going to have to earn this much per year, and then actually it becomes a lot more feasible. And if you can kind of get that strategy behind you, I think that's
it's having a goal
thing.
of saying, right, I'll get to 6 figures. That'd be really great to get 6 figures. Oh, okay, we're at 6 figures. We've got a great product. Let's try and get to 7 figures. And then, but people go straight away go, right, 9 figures. Let's get there and let's kill it. Actually, you haven't got a plan. You haven't got a plan in place to get to 6, let alone 9.
Yeah. So
Like,
for me,
I
was using the financial goals just as a marker of like what I wanted.
Yeah.
So if I wanted 3 holidays a year that cost $3,000, if I wanted to buy nice clothes, nice shoes, what kind of salary facilitates that? Okay, let's get to that salary, because you're then identifying with the feeling that you want. Because ultimately, I could be a millionaire, but the rest of that money could just sit in the bank because I'm not spending it. I don't have a purpose for it.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people do. They earn more money and they just go and spend it on stuff.
Yeah.
A more expensive car, a more expensive house, and that's great. So now I've been earning 45 grand for the last 3 years. That facilitates my life. We have a good life, like with my wife's salary, all the rest of it. But now I'm like, right, I've got a child on the way. And then Lizzie, the plan is for her not to work. Now I'm not thinking, I want to earn more than 6 figures. I'm thinking, for me to live the lifestyle that I want for me and my family, I have to earn differently. So now the goalpost changes, but now I'm very connected to that emotionally because it's something that I want for myself and my family. And it's
amazing how
different way of thinking about
it. You strike me as somebody who has so much clarity, so self-aware of where you want to be and what you want to achieve. That's mad. And the problem is like I said, so many business owners will aspire for that figure, and they won't have any reason why they want.
I think that 5 minutes is going to give listeners so much value, because I think a lot of business owners need clarity on that as well, and they think differently. But actually, if they heard that, they would go, "That makes complete sense."
And I could earn more, so I could draw down more out of my business. But one of the other things that drives me in my business is I love doing different things. I love playing. I love exploring ideas. So I'll happily spend $5,000 on some R&D of something that we think of doing because it excites me.
Yeah.
It's evolution. Like, could it improve our product or service? I could be way more frugal on that, and I know plenty of business owners that really restrict their creative budgets, their R&D budgets, because they want to earn more, and that's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And it might be that in 2 years' time, I'm like, no, actually, I've worked really hard. I want to leverage everything out of my business now. It's kind of time for me. But I'm not at that stage in my life. I'm about growing and exploring. And I think my team that I've built really enjoy that as well. They really enjoy this month, what we're doing. Yeah. It's almost part of our company culture that we've got a fair bit of cash there to just sort of play with things.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. Bros, that Jane. We'll go, right, let's not pay each other. Let's get some new cameras. Let's better our product.
Well, the whole reason we started this podcast is because I said to Jack, wouldn't it be a good idea if we did that? And because Jack's like this, he'll just go, how much is it going to cost? So I said, well, all the equipment, then we need this, we need this, we need this. It's going to cost this much. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. Have you, order it now. And I'm like, are you sure? And he goes,
Jake always comes to me with the idea.
Yeah.
He's such a creative guy.
I almost expect him to just be like, no, bad idea. I'm like, well, cool, no worries. And he's like, cool, let's do it. Let's spend that money, let's go. And I'm like,
but I think that comes down to trust. Like, I said this to you the other day in London. I trust him so much with his thoughts and his opinions that if he'd like to roll with it, let's roll with it. It's going to grow us, and straight away the podcast stuff has paid for itself because we started producing podcasts in London and doing some stuff there. So it's like, if you trust your team, it'll all be fine.
And also be prepared to reinvest your money into upper crusts from Liverpool Street Station as well, because they do an absolute fantastic festive.
You talk about. I nearly commented on your Instagram the other day because you love your Christmas turkey feeds. So you are a fan.
Me too.
We want you to go to Upper Crust at Liverpool Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done. Oh, and honestly, it's a
if we see you soon, I'll just get you one.
It's a taste. Well, don't do that, because by the time you get it to Ben, it's going to
That'll be 2 months old.
It's going to drive round.
It'll be 2 months old. Let's just talk about where you're going to go in the next few years, and your plans.
I think I finally got my. Are we allowed to swear?
You do it, and then we'll see.
Just do it.
I think I finally got my beep together with my business in terms of like being a CEO, being a leader. So operations, marketing, I've got all the right people in all the right places. So I feel that I've now got the confidence to really put the pedal on the gas, and not for me to have to work 12 hours a day to have that pedal on the gas. And I think that's it's just taken a lot longer than I thought it would take. So next year we're going to try and grow Awesome Supplements to be a lot more of a global presence. We're now looking at our supply chain internationally. We're now looking at distributing into certain markets that we think will be really beneficial. And I just think, I'm sitting on almost like a mountain of gold with my business, and now is the opportunity for me within the next 3 years to really accelerate it. So next year I'm going to bring out 1, maybe 2 books. We're really going to try and push the growth level. And because I'm sitting here going, do you know what, I just kind of want this amount of profit for myself, for my family and stuff, I'm going to be reinvesting all that money back into growth. And then hopefully in like 3 years, 5 years time, we can sit back and go, okay, brilliant, we're happy with that. Let's just enjoy the fruits of our labour a little bit. Maybe I'd even consider selling some parts of the business, who knows? So it's foot firmly on the gas. And I tried to do it in 2017 and I screwed it up, nearly went bankrupt, spent a whole year trying to recover from, the creditors. And it's probably taken me the last 3 months to really build up my confidence again. I was speaking to my COO the other day and she was like, it actually knocked your confidence a lot more than you give yourself appreciation for. Because I think as a business owner, sometimes there are days where you just have to be strong and kind of hide how you're feeling and just be positive for your team and all that kind of stuff. And I had to learn how to be confident again, because when you're younger, you're kind of naive and that makes it easy to be confident. But then when you know more and you've failed a bit more and you've wasted 50 grand here and lost here and had a lawyer involved here, you do second guess yourself a lot more, because the fall is a lot bigger. You've got a mortgage or kids or all the rest of it. So I had to get myself to a really confident place to go, if I put the foot on the gas, will we go bankrupt again? Because I'm scared of that, like hand on heart. And I think we've got to the end of the year with a really clear strategy, all the right people in place, and next year we're going for it.
Amazing.
Good quality.
Good for you. We have to wrap up there, unfortunately. I know,
sad.
As much as I want to carry on, we want to carry on. This has been great.
Part 2.
Congratulations for all your success, and
cheers, man.
You're going to drive it forward. We just know it. And
just getting started.
And you are becoming a father next year.
Yes.
So congratulations, mate.
Yeah.
Amazing. Ben Coomber, thanks for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Top man. Thank you, mate.